Hello everyone, this is the Atlas application which is handheld by the TCs. Let's have a quick look at the user flows for the Pampers POME chassis as well as all the discounted chassis.
When the TC logs in, login process is the same. The TC will have to enter their TC ID and the password. He'll get an OTP on the registered mobile number and he'll log in, right? Once the TC logs in, he'll be able to see the home screen and he'll have to mark his attendance for the day, right? It is these all things are same as in like present scenario. He'll mark his attendance as present and then he'll reach this screen. Fine. Now I'll continue and I'll go to this screen. Right. So as you see, there have been multiple chassis assigned to me for today. We can assign multiple chassis to a particular TC on the same day as well, right? But the time should not be overlapping. So as I have created different plans for myself, but they are non-overlapping, right? And now again, reiterating, these times are only a suggestive time. It's not for limiting the TCs to conduct trials between this time only. The TCs can still go and perform trials for this particular chassis right now, correct? So even if the time is 5:30 to 6:30, you can still go and perform trials here. It's just a suggestive time given by the TL to the TCs, correct? So this is a change versus the previous existing application on the trials journey plan page. Correct. Now let's check into the first site, right, which is test days SOCP store. We'll perform a trial for SOCP, right? So as soon as you check into that location, you will be able to see a screen like this, right? You have an option for Spiel. Spiel is basically some resources for you, documents for you. The important screen is the trial screen. So let's go and conduct trials. You will also be able to see the store you have checked in or the location you have checked in at the top, right? Top left, you are able to see that location. Now I go and click on trials. Now it will ask if the consumer interested in trials. I'll click on yes. Okay, I'll wait to it be reflected on your screen. Okay, so as you can see, there is no trial recorded as of yet. So the trial screen is empty, right? As soon as you click on plus, you will be asked to select a brand and a sub brand, right? So here there is a slight change. Previously, you only used to select brand. You will now be selecting a sub brand as well as a sub brand. So whatever brand you are currently trialing under your site, those will be mapped here in a drop down, correct? So let me do a trial for Gillette. I'll select Gillette as a brand. Then when you are selecting sub brand, it will only be visible whatever sub brands are present under that particular brand for that particular site. Let's say some other site is doing guard as well. So you will also be able to see sub brand form as guard in this drop down, right? I select Mark 3 guard razor right from here and then click on add. So now as you see, the count has automatically been captured as 1. You cannot edit that count because it is a 1-to-1 trial, right? The Gillette and sub-brand form is also visible there. And you also see an option of entering the code, right? So this is the code that we were talking about in our slides, the unique trial code, which will be generated once the user completes the IVR, right? So I'll quickly tell you how the message will look like once you record that IVR and you get it done. So I'll take you to that screen. Right, so this is how a message will come to the TC now, right? There will be no message sent to the consumer with the UTC or any OTP. This is the message that will come to the TC with details of brand, sub-brand, and trial code, right? So this is just for descriptive purposes. I already did a trial earlier, and then I just took a snippet for explaining you all, right? Another thing which we implemented after the pilot that we recently conducted for Mumbai, we observed that the TCs were having a problem in copy pasting the trial code from this message to the application, right? So here we then have provided a functionality to copy paste as well now, right? So this is the kind of SMS that you'll get, right? You'll get an option to copy the number as well, right? So you just tap on that UTC, unique trial medium, and you can just copy the number, which is actually the UTC, and you switch your application, go here, and you enter, right? You enter this number and then you click on submit. But I click on submit, but it won't be counted as a valid trial. Why? Because we discussed that the trial code should match with the actual trial code that is generated. So we didn't do that process right now. This trial code is a different one. So you'll see it is not verified. But once the TC will perform the trial with the actual user on ground, you will get an actual like the true code UTC, and once you enter it and submit here, you'll be able to see a verified sign on the right side of the trials block. Correct. Now before submitting, I'll also tell you what the SMS for the consumer will look like. So we had been getting a lot of issues from the ground that consumer is raising a spam request or OTP collection request or an issue from the ground, right, earlier. So now there is no OTP being sent to the consumer. We will only send this kind of a message to the consumer after the trial has been recorded, right? So you can just skim through it, right? This is the kind of message that will be received by the consumer. Once this is received, the consumer is free to go, and the job is now on the TC to get the trial completed by entering the trial code. So again, I'm repeating, the trial code will be valid for the 2 hours after generation of the trial code, right? So I click on submit. It will ask again, are you sure you want to validate code? So you just need to double check, ensure your TCs do double check this code, because that is not you cannot undo this step, right? Moving forward. So once it is recorded, it is recorded. And if it flags at non-verified, you will be in future penalized, or maybe the TC will be accountable for the non-verified trials, right? So please ensure, since we have also provided that copy paste functionality, this step should not go wrong, right? So just copy from there, paste it here, and then click on submit. Again, for now, it won't show as verified in my screen because I'm taking a different UTC from the past trial, right? So as you see, it reflects as not verified. Okay, the screen froze. Okay, now it's visible, right? So if you can see, there is a tick coming across. That means that the trial has been recorded, but it is not verified, which is depicted in the side, right, in yellow text. And below that, you also see whatever code you have entered, right? Whatever code you enter, you will be able to see, and you'll be able to check if it is because of the code that the trial is not verified or not. Correct. Now, again, if you want to record another trial, you just go and click on plus, select maybe some other brand. I select Pantene. I'll select. So now you are able to see there are multiple SKUs or multiple sub brand forms being trialed under that, right? So I select Pantene, right? And click on add, right? Again, then we'll repeat the same process. Whatever consumer records it in his IVR, you will get a code on your SMS. You'll enter that code and click on submit, right? So this is the change that we are trying to bring in to ensure that the TC is actually accountable and made accountable for the trials he's doing. No malpractices are followed on the ground, as well as make the life simpler for both consumer as well as the TC, right? Once trials are done, you will be able to click on finish, right? You click on finish, you go to the home page. If you want to record more trials, you can click on trials again and go and perform the trials as we did Abhi. Else you can go and click on checkout, right? And click on checkout, it will pop up, are you sure you want to check out? You click on yes, and it's done, right? Now you go again to the home page, you'll be able to see that this particular thing is done, right? So we just recorded trials here, right? And it will show as completed and trial count as 1 since we recorded that one trial, right? I'll again go to the screen and you'll still be able to see that particular trial as recorded, right? I'll just wait for the screen to change. Yeah, so this is the screen which we already did the trial for, right? And that's the same thing that you are seeing here. So basically on the home page, you will see as the chassis has been completed and the trial count as 1 for now, correct? Fair. So this was the application front. I'll just tell you a quick troubleshooting tips. So what we observed on the pilot which we conducted on ground here in Mumbai. Sometimes it is possible that while creating the journey plan, the TC has already logged in before the journey plan has been created for the TC, right? So the TC will not be able to immediately see the journey plans on his application. What you can do is ask your TC to go to your settings, right? From the side bookmark bar, you can go to the settings. You can quickly do a sync data, right? So here you will be able to see an option for sync data. The second option, quickly sync your data, and you will be able to sync it with the server backend, and you will be start getting to see your journey plans, the latest journey plans assigned, right? In some cases, which is not applicable to maybe most of the people who are conducting trials in the urban areas, but for rural areas where network connectivity is low, maybe your trials which you have recorded in your application will get stored to your local storage, but won't be getting uploaded automatically to the Atlas backend portal, right? Atlas servers. So as soon as you get into network connectivity, first thing the TC should check is if the data has been uploaded or not properly. So they can come to the screen. In case the data is not uploaded, below the first option, below upload data option, you'll be able to see a flag that this percentage of data has still not been uploaded, right? So whenever you are in network connectivity, again, you click on this upload data option, and it will automatically sync the data with the server, upload the data from the application to the server, right? So these are the two things, sync and upload, that I think majority of the sites still face an issue with, and maybe going forward you will also face similar issues if in case you don't have network connectivity around you while you complete the trials, right? So just to reiterate, while conducting the trials, you don't need an internet connection, but once you are done with the trials, in order to make it visible to your backend portal, the backend Atlas portal, you should sync it or upload it from this settings in case you were not we were not in the network location earlier, right? Essentially, the application is automatically syncing the data at regular intervals, but in case of network issues, which we generally face currently as well, it's advisable that the TC goes here and uploads the data and ensures that data is uploaded completed, and then only he proceeds with turning off or logging off from the application, right? I'll give you a quick context why I'm repeatedly focusing on this, because we are observing that a lot of times TCs record trials in a non-network location. They think that, yeah, trials, I recorded the trials, now it is done, my job is done, and they just delete the app altogether, right? So since the trials are recorded in their local storage, but not yet synced with the application backend, as soon as they delete the application, all the data that is being recorded has been lost, right? And then the sites raise a request for manual trials, correct? And then you raise that trials are not visible in the backend. So that's the primary cause for 90% of these cases, that the data has not been uploaded to the backend. So please ensure that your TCs do the upload data at least once every day, or maybe before logging off from the application every day, correct?